welcome to the Buff Barbie channel. This is my first video and this is my experience with week 1. But I'm going to take you into the details, even the gruesome details of what it's like to have a BBL. It's not all it's cracked up to be. It's not a fun experience. I don't care what people say, even a week after surgery, you're not 10 out of 10 feeling. That's just bullshit. Pardon my language, but it is. I'm going to share with you what it's really like for someone to go through this. And this is part of me becoming Buff Barbie. Now, to start off, in week 1, I went to Miami. I live in Kansas City area, Kansas. I went to Miami because Miami is originally, it's cheaper to do your surgery in Miami, and there's a lot of plastic surgeons with a lot of good reputations because they're constantly doing them all the time. Versus, you know, where I live now, they don't do as many surgeries. So, like, I want someone who is well versed in doing these types of surgeries. This is a huge, big deal for me. This is a life-changing thing. So, my first week, I flew to Miami. You get to talk to your doctor the day before surgery. They explain to you everything. I never did my research on the BBLs. Like, I just thought, you know, I'm a boss. I can take it. It'll be fine. And so they tell me, by the way, you're going to have tubes running out of your body and they're going to drain out all the fluid and the blood, but it's mainly going to be fluid. And they say that will take them out in like 4 or 5 days. So the day of surgery, I wait in the waiting room for like 2 hours before they finally pull me back for surgery. I think my actual surgery only took like maybe 2.5 hours, if that. Like, my surgery didn't take that long. So it's not the surgery part that takes a super long time. It's waiting for you to get pulled for surgery because they have to get all the staff together. So I literally was sitting there like sleeping a lot during that process because I'm just sitting here on my phone half naked. You'll have a scrubs on, you'll have your hairnet on, they'll have you in compression socks, you'll wear one of those gowns that has a slit in the front of it, and you'll be waiting there with an IV in your arm because they're already prepping your body, and then you get walked back there to be put on this leather-like table or whatever it is, you know, the ambulance take you in, like those kinds. Like, that's kind of what you're laying on, and, you know, before you know it, you're out. And that was the prep part of the surgery. You know, I went in there being very optimistic. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome, this is gonna be great, like, I'm gonna have a whole new body. And, you know, I'm a tough person. I'm an athlete. I've been lifting, bodybuilding for 6 years. I got this. There's no problem with it. I even tell people, oh, I'll be back on my feet in like a month. I'll be fine. Like, you know, they're like, okay, I'm telling you, you're going to find out. Okay, so I don't listen to anybody. I'm hard-headed. Aries. That's the Aries. So I get the surgery done. I wake up and I am in excruciating pain. Like, my back, my whole body is on fire. It's like I got my insides scraped out. And it was just so much pain. And I'm laying here with tubes running out of my body. They were able to squeeze my faja on me, which is what this is. They were able to put me in this. They put me in a sports bra. They put me in this gear right here. They had my compression socks were already on. They keep those on the whole time. And then I had tubes running out the front. I have an incision here and an incision here. And they're like coming out and they're like attached to my socks on these little, what I call bulbs. I don't know what they are actually called, but that's draining into it, right? And I don't realize how bloody I am because they put all my clothes back on me. And I'm over here screaming in pain. And they're like, oh, it's okay, Christy, it's okay. Yeah, BBL is painful, it's painful. Oh, no one tells you how painful it is. The doctor didn't say it was going to be painful, and I'm not blaming her for this at all. I should have did my own research. But, like, no one talks about how painful it is the day you have the surgery. Especially if somebody that picks you up doesn't pick you up right away. I'm not saying anything bad about my friend, but I was really pissed off because he went to go to the beach, and I'm like, you know, they call you to come and get me over an hour later. My freaking stuff wore off. They said they gave me fentanyl in my IV. She was like, well, we can't give you any more. That could overdose you. And I'm like, lady, I'm in serious pain. I have a high pain tolerance. And literally, whatever this shit is wore off. Like, I am in pain. Like, I'm over here yelling. And the lady is just saying, oh, it's going to be okay, Christy. There's no reason for you to be upset. No, there is a reason for me to be upset. I am in a lot of pain. And my ride hasn't picked me up yet. My friend finally shows up almost an hour and a half later after the surgery. And so I'm screaming in the car, like, we got to get me to the hotel, right? One of the things I found out, you need to buy a bunch of, it'll say it on the paper, but I know what that stuff is for now. Like, they want you to get, like, the dog pads you get. They have them for people, too. But I just got dog pads. Same fucking thing. Same thing. I got dog pads. So I ended up having to put those down in the car so I didn't get blood everywhere. I had a BBL pillow, which is what I'm sitting on now, currently. I can't sit directly on my butt yet. I still have 3 weeks before I can do that. And then I'm sitting on this pillow and I'm in all this pain and agony, and I'm like having my seat pit back a little bit so I can have some relief. My body is sore, but like it's more on fire than anything. Like I'm feeling all of it through here and it's just not feeling good. I told you, it's like having your insides scraped out and your body's just on fire. And so my friend finally gets me to the hotel, and him and his girlfriend, and we're both screaming. She's like, I'm screaming and yelling. She was like, I'm gonna take her to the ER. I'm gonna call 911. And he's like, let me get her pain meds first. And I'm like, well, we should have been trying to get my pain meds. So here is something I've learned from that week of having the surgery. Make sure you talk to the doctor and them say, hey, can I get the prescription for the painkillers now? And have somebody go pick them up for you. Have those painkillers in hand ready because you're going to need them. I would not sugarcoat this. You're going to need the painkillers. Whatever the doctor is prescribing you to manage that pain. And my friend finally went to go get it. It took him 20 minutes. I'm screaming in agony and pain. His girlfriend's freaking out because she's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And she keeps calling him and saying, hurry up. How effing close are you? Like, we're putting a lot of pressure on him. And finally, he shows up with my medicine. And I take it for the nausea because my stomach's upset too. I'm not feeling good. I take the nausea medicine, I take the antibiotics they gave me, and then I end up taking the painkiller. And finally, in like 30 or 40 minutes, the pain starts to subside a little bit because now I have painkillers back in my system to help me get through this process where my body is not liking all the poking and prodding that just happened to it. Not at all. So this is the first week of it, right? This is all the pain that I just went through. I just got my butt whipped, basically, with all this stuff going on. I've got these compression socks that are holding these bulbs to my legs, which I call them. Got tubes running out the front of my body. And I'm not realizing, okay, these tubes, they're like sewn on, but I'm still having leakage from the tubes. And then it's going from the tubes into the bulbs. So disgusting. I had to literally go to the bathroom constantly and pop the thing off and pour this blood fluid mix into the toilet to make sure, like, because it's going to fill up again. You can only let it get it halfway and then it fills up again, and you just have to keep doing that. And then you're not going to have enough strength to pull the faja off. You're just not. So you need a surgical grade faja for post-surgery. So those normally, if you pay attention, have a slit in the vagina and the butt area. So that way you can pee out of it. You're gonna have to pull it off if you have to if you have to poop. Like, you'll have to have it pulled off. Someone's gonna have to help you because there's no way to do that. But they provided me with, I bought a recovery care package. Make sure you look into that. Or if you feel like you can do cheaper on Amazon, get all the supplies ready, because that's one thing I didn't do. Make sure you buy a funnel if they don't give you one. You'll get a funnel that's specifically made for peeing through. It's like designed to be small here and then bigger. I literally still right now, and even then, was taking a funnel to the slit and peeing through it. And so I drank a lot of water and a lot of electrolytes. And they tell you that first week to drink Pedialyte, one big thing of Pedialyte. They tell you to drink one big thing of Pedialyte the day before surgery. And they tell you to continue to drink that and tons of water to stay hydrated, because you're leaking fluid, body fluids. And at this point, you're going to be dehydrated if you don't continue to drink water and plenty of fluids. And you get hungry. So I went and did a lot of protein shakes, started to eat some solid foods like yogurt, those kinds of things. My stomach was kind of upset sometimes. I was getting headaches a lot. So make sure you have medication like ibuprofen to help with the pain, or Tylenol to help with the pain, because the painkillers are only supposed to be good, I would say, for the first 2 or 3 days. After those few days, you probably need to pitch them, because really you're not in as much pain as you are sore. Your body is so freaking sore. I'll tell you that my first 3 days were rough because my friend had to pull me. I had to grab his arm and he had to pull me out of bed so I could get up to move. Unfortunately, my friend wanted to explore, and obviously I don't blame them. No one wants to sit in a hotel with someone that's like basically handicapped and just laying there watching TV because they can't really do anything else, right? So my friend went out and partied with his girlfriend. They had fun, and then they come back at night. So eventually, I had to learn to grab the headboard and scoot myself off the bed and pull myself to go use the bathroom. Like, after the 3rd day, I just forced myself to get up. Even though it hurt, I'm like screaming in agony. I'm like, ah! That's how it sounded, right? And I'm still getting up and I'm pushing myself because I'm like, I gotta heal up fast. Like, no one's gonna take care of me. I have to make money. I make money through my looks and my wrestling gigs, my fetish model gigs. I can't stay like this. So I push myself to move and get up and do things. I'm supposed to walk for 15 minutes every hour. So I'm getting up at the hotel, and these people are probably looking at me crazy, right? I'm walking around trying to get exercise 15 minutes every hour. I'm moving. I'm doing my laundry because I've got bloody clothes. So here's another thing to prepare for in that first week. Like I said, you want to get the pads. You want to put those on your bed. Like, I have a huge round pillow, and it's for a BBL. It's a square cut out with a hole cut in the middle, and your butt sits in it, and it keeps the pressure off your butt, and it kind of keeps that circular shape. I bought one of those while I was there, so you can actually have Amazon deliver that stuff to your hotel. I had Amazon deliver that, so I had a pillow to actually sit in that actually would keep the pressure off my butt, but I put pads underneath it, because what happened is it was so bad. You should want to change those out at least 3 times a day, because what happened was mine soaked through so fast. Like the first day and 2, it soaked through into the mattress of the hotel. Guess who had to pay for that hotel mattress? Me. I ended up getting charged $350 because I bled through the mattress, even though I tried to make sure that didn't happen. So my suggestion is, if you don't have the money to replace the mattress, buy the BBL blow-up mattress and use that in your hotel. It's a hole cut in the mattress where your butt sits in it, but at least you're not spending $350, and you know what I mean? You can return that mattress if you don't get something all over it. Like, you could return that mattress. Like, you can make that work for you. That's like $115. But I did not think about this stuff in advance. So these are tips and tricks I'm teaching. Like, this is what you need to do to save money. This is what you need to do to prepare yourself. This is all in the first week of getting a BBL. Like, this is the first week. So it's hard to move around. You look like you're a crippled person walking around. You have tubes attached to you. They hurt. Like the left side, I don't know why, and the right side didn't hurt, but the left side hurt really bad. And it just kept like pulling at my skin, and it's so painful. So like my first week, really, I couldn't put my socks on. I had to have my friend pull my bloody socks off and put on clean compression socks. You have to wear compression socks for 7 weeks. I would say just go ahead and wear them for 2 weeks to be on the safe side, because it actually keeps that fluid from, it keeps them from getting swollen and like blood clotting, and that's the main important thing you want. And probably it helps with fluid retention. So wear the compression socks, wear the faja. This is gonna be your best friend. You're gonna be wearing this thing forever. So, you know what I mean? Make sure you at least have 2 to switch off and on. I recommend buying another one. I think at least 3 is better. So you have 1 on you, one clean one, and then 1 in the wash is how I look at it. It's like being in the Depression, Great Depression. Some women only had 3 dresses. You're gonna have 3 fajas. I only had 2, and I had to buy a 3rd because you wanna have a clean faja every day. Now, the tubes finally come out on the 6th day. So I'm 6 days post-op at this point. I went through all this hell. I bled everywhere. I looked like when I stood up, like my body, soul had been snatched out of my body. Like there was a murder in my bed. Like somebody just got mutilated. That's how bad my backside and my bed looked. It's not a pretty sight. So, like, when I finally go get my massages, these are very important. You have to start getting massages from the day after the surgery all the way till you need at least 8 weeks of massages. When you go to your place though, you buy a package deal. A lot of them will offer the massages in the package deal, which is what I did, right? I got 10 massages because I'm like, I want to make sure everything's going to look good and smooth. So I go in, I get those tubes out on the 6th day, but I've been going for massages. Here's another thing that people don't talk about. That first week, your body is bruised up. It's bruised. Your ass is black and blue. Your stomach, it looks like somebody just started like going to town on you. I mean, you're beat up. You're bruised looking. It's not a pretty sight. My whole left cheek was black and blue. I have videos and photos of it. Like, because I want to remember all this. I want to remember what I had to go through to become Buff Barbie, to be the version that I have created of myself. So I'm documenting all these things. And those massages hurt. When you are in the first week, those massages hurt. Because they're rubbing your body. Think about that. Your bruised body is constantly being rubbed down. And you still have these hose in you until the 6th day. And this lady is taking the hose and she's pulling down on it like this because she's trying to get the blood or the body fluid moving. But it hurts because she's tugging on your incision. And they're not trying to hurt you, but it is the process. So when that happens, I've got blood streaming down my legs. By the time we're done, my compression sock is pretty much fully bloody. They send me out without my faja because now I have blood all over the front of this thing and on this cushion. So I have to throw that dirty one in the bag and then wear some comfortable clothes afterwards because you're going to be swollen. You're not going to fit your normal clothes that you fit before. And you might even be smaller than before. So that's another tip, guys. Like, before you get going, wear ugly clothes you don't give 2 shits about. This is an ugly shirt, and these are not pants I would buy. I would never buy any of this. But I bought cheap Walmart clothes at $6, whatever I could find, because no one cares about their looks at this point. You feel like shit, you look like shit to you. Maybe everybody else doesn't think you do, but you do think about yourself that way. I look awful. So I wear all ugly clothes, didn't want to waste my money. These are going to go in the trash as soon as my body gets to where it needs to be. Buy ugly clothes for this. Because if you get blood on them, you're not going to care. Do not wear your good clothes whatsoever. It's going to be a while before you can do that. Wear ugly clothes the first week. Ladies, hair extensions. If you get hair extensions, you might as well just throw that one out the window. Get them all taken out. wear a little ponytail, wear a wig. I mean, really, to be honest, you probably shouldn't wear a wig the first week. I wouldn't start like doing that until like maybe when you're out of your like going into your third week. Like when you're going on to like 2 weeks post-op, then maybe it's a good idea. I only say this because extensions require care. You could barely take care of yourself the first week. So they're gonna get matted up, they're gonna get knotted, you're going to end up like maybe damaging the extensions. If you have like K-tips, you could accidentally be pulling them out that way with the stress on the hair. You could be laying flat on your head a lot, so it creates an indentation. Be honest, you're wasting your money. So don't just get the extensions taken out before the surgery. It's so much more easier. I started wearing a wig because I get my extensions put back in when I'm 4 weeks post-op, or almost 5. I decided that because it's expensive getting your hair done. Don't waste your money unless you're just rich and you can do that. Don't waste your money on getting extensions until you're at least like 4 weeks post-op. You're like moving around, you're starting to feel normal again, and you're gonna start going out. That's when you get those put back in, so then you can start feeling like the better version of you, looking like hot. You know what I mean? Then you're like, all right, I look good as fuck. I got my hair back in. I can start wearing my makeup. My waist is starting to look snatched. That's when you get the extensions back in. Right now, it's kind of just pointless. You're sitting at home. You're doing nothing. It's pointless. So the first week, you're going to spend time building your strength back up. You're going to spend time on just trying to deal with life. I would say the first week is the more depressive part, but it's actually not. The first week is more about, okay, getting my tubes out, getting the recovery. That's what it's about, getting through the first week. So when they finally take those tubes out, I had mine taken out on the 6th day. Some people say that they've heard tubes were left in for a week or 10 days. And sometimes they do. It depends on how well your body's pushing fluid out. Once you get those tubes out, yes, it does not feel good. But once those tubes come out, it feels so much better because you can bend forward now, touch your toes. You can actually have more mobility. Those tubes kind of handicap you too because they're stuck to your body, and like certain moves, it'll hurt. It'll make it hurt. Like sitting down, all that, because it'll pinch your skin. So that's something else to remember. Those are going to be in those uncomfortable moments. When you get those tubes out, it's amazing. I would also recommend staying at least 2 weeks if you have to travel to get it done. I only stayed 9 days and I went back home. And that was not good. I ended up going to the airport and I wore a pair of joggers and adult diapers. So I'm sorry, but once you get those tubes pulled, you're going to need the adult diapers because now you've got incisions that are going to just start draining and leaking fluid. They're going to just keep draining and draining until the incisions close on their own. And so I just got my tubes out, and that was the day I was also supposed to go home. So I'm on my way home. I got an adult diaper. I had to put on adult diaper 3 different times because it kept soaking through. That's how much fluid was coming out of my body. Ended up getting so bad, we ended up getting, our flight was getting ready to come up, and all of a sudden I see blood trickling through my pants and on the back side. And I'm like, this is embarrassing. I don't know who can actually see all this. So I go up to the front of the airplane, and this is what you should do too. You should make sure you get priority boarding. You need to get on there first so you can get a comfortable spot. And that way, if you do have any of those leakage problems, you're not sitting there and just like mortified that, now you've got blood seeping out of your body, that people can actually see it. Because I don't know, people could have saw it. But at that point, I'm even in the attitude where I give 2, okay, kiss my egg if you don't like it. I'm going through all this. I refused to leave my BBL pillow behind. I had a transportable one and I had the one with the hole cut out that I slept in. I brought it with me and told them, hey, I need to check this in. This is a medical thing for me. And so you can bring a pillow in case you didn't know. Like you can take the BBL pillow with you and they will check it in at the front, like where you're gonna go board on the plane. And like they put a sticker on it and like you get it like you get your suitcase when you get off the plane. So that really helped me out a lot. I had to this is the portable BBL pillow. I have one that sits in the car. I have one I keep on my computer desk. And then of course I have my other one that I have in my bed I sleep on, which is the one with the hole cut. And so what I want to say is that once I got on that plane, I had to change my adult diaper again. Super embarrassing, right? Had to change it again. And then finally we get off that freaking plane and I'm like still blood dripping, spotless everywhere. And then finally I get my stuff and my BBL pillow was with me. And that nice airline, and it was, I don't even remember the airline, it was Delta. The people there were super nice to me. I told them my situation. I didn't have to pay extra. They changed my plane flight ticket and they were like, okay, you get priority boarding, so you get to go on with like people who are in wheelchairs and all that. So I got first dibs seat, which made my plane ride a lot better. But I was still feeling nauseous. I was still having headaches. So that plane ride was miserable. So just think about that too in your first week. Maybe staying 2 weeks at the hotel is a better option if you're not going to go straight home after your surgery. So I had to deal with that. Finally get off the plane. I get my stuff off the thing. And then I get on to the bus, the economy bus, and I finally get to the parking lot where I parked my car. And I get all my shit stuff in there. And then I finally have I use my pillow. I have to drive with this thing. I cannot sit directly on my butt. So I'm learning how to drive with this pillow underneath me now. I'm telling you though, guys, make sure you get these pillows for portable reasons. Because you cannot sit flat on your butt. You will ruin all that misery and pain you went through. You're going to ruin your results. So use the travel BBL pillow. You can get them on Amazon. Just get it on Amazon. It's cheaper. It's under 20 bucks I think I paid for it. So, same way with my pillow. Paid 40 or 30 something bucks for that when I sleep in, and it works just fine. I finally get home, and I'm 9 days in. That's where I was at when I made it home. And I went through all that misery, and I was still leaking a lot of fluids. But that first couple of days, I looked so shredded. Because I already have abs. Here is the very unique thing about me. I have been bodybuilding for 6 years. I have won a competition in 2023. I won the novice, true novice in the Des Moines, Iowa NPC competition. You can actually look it up and find my pictures on there where it shows that I won. But I have been building my glutes for 6 years. I have been building my abs, my entire body and physique. I'm well known for being Buff Barbie for that very reason. And here's kind of how I'm going to end my 1 week. Everyone asks, okay, why would you do something to your butt? Right? Because I didn't just get a BBL. I also got a breast augmentation, which you probably already noticed, but I had no issues with the boobs. I have none. Knock on wood, hopefully I don't. But I haven't had any issues. Everything has been fine. This didn't even hurt. And I had underneath incisions, okay? They are forming a scabbing right there. So that will eventually heal up and it'll be very minimal scarring. These I had no issues with. But everybody is like, why would you get a BBL? Your butt looks great. And I'm like, I don't like hip dips. Everyone says you should embrace your hip dips. You should love them. All the things, right? Well, I don't. So I made all this money wrestling. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go full head on and just change it. I'm gonna get breast implants and I'm gonna get the BBL both at the same time. I'm gonna change out my shape a little bit. I'm gonna rework my body back into shape. I'm gonna have a fuller chest, and I'm gonna be a 4.0 version of Buff Barbie, because I have been building my persona and my appearance for the last a little over a year now. So, and I'm just now like really sharing like all the things that are going to be what creates Buff Barbie. So, and ending this segment of week 1, that is what it's like in your first week, for me anyway, post-op. And you're talking about somebody who's already in good shape and an athlete. I put on some fat on purpose, but I wasn't able to put on a lot of fat like I wanted to. And so, you gotta make sure you have enough fat to take. I don't really have very much fat still left in my stomach. So here's that unique thing about me. I was never big when I went in for the BBL. So it's different for her to build fat and put it in the glutes when there's barely much fat to take. So my journey is going to be different from everybody else's, because 6-year athletes don't get BBLs. And the first week was hell for this athlete. And even just being as strong as I am, I don't think I've experienced anything more painful. So, thank you for watching week 1 of Buff Barbie's journey of the makings of Buff Barbie and the week 1 of my BBL progress.